Your church and Bitcoin. Should you or shouldn't you? Bitcoin was in the news again this week, primarily because it's been losing ground year to date as an investment tool. In fact, the term most associated with its performance in the middle of June of 2022 was the word cratered. Not a word you want used with regard to your personal portfolio holdings. So it seemed like this might be a good time to revisit our discussions about Bitcoin and other related cryptocurrencies and what our approach should be to them in the church. Our purpose here is not to try to understand how cryptocurrencies work, about the blockchain or other technical issues. There are plenty of articles that can be found on the internet to help you with that kind of a deep dive into how the currency is created and traded if you're interested. Our concern here is to give some information that you may want to consider about both the choice to invest, endowment, or reserve funds in this commodity, and perhaps the more likely scenario of how to respond if a donor wants to make a gift of cryptocurrency to your church. The first question, of course, might be, who'd want to give us cryptocurrency? Immediately followed by, and why would they want to do that? Which might lead to, and why would we want to accept it? Well, the who's generally pretty easy to answer. It's likely to be millennials or Gen Z members of your congregation. If you have a good number of these folks who were born after 1981, a small percentage of them may have cryptocurrency holdings. As digital natives, they're not as skittish about all things ethereal and web-based, and some, out of either curiosity or speculation, may have some of this currency. Why would they want to give it to you? Well, the IRS considers cryptocurrency as property, and as such, it's subject to capital gains tax. When you consider that the first known transaction of this digital code back in 2010 was 10,000 coins traded for 2 pizzas that were delivered, thank goodness they got delivery in the deal, there's been a wild gain in their value. In 2010, its value was less than a penny. In the early 20-teens, it was well under $100. It has, though, as recently as a year ago, been valued at nearly $69,000. So there's motivation to use it as a charitable contribution by donors so they can gain the full value of it for a tax deduction and escape at the same time significant tax liability. So why would you want to accept it? Well, in this day and time, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to invest in our mission and ministry. We want to create as many convenient avenues for the practice of generosity as we can. And crypto is just one additional way beyond cash, check, securities, and other personal property we might want to receive because they, in the end, give power to the transforming work of the gospel in which we're engaged. Some of your high-capacity donors may hold cryptocurrency, and they may wish to move it from the ethereal to the tangible. But here's a caveat. You need something called a digital wallet to participate in the exchange of this type of currency. And to be honest, unless someone is going to make a gift in the 6 or 7 figure range, it might not be worth the hassle. However, there are brokers who can help with these transactions, so you don't need a digital wallet. And some of these have been set up especially to assist nonprofits. Sites like Giving Block and Crypto for Charity can help facilitate a conversion to US dollars for a relatively small transaction fee, usually ranging from 1 to 3.5%. If you have a large percentage of younger members, and as crypto becomes more mainstream, being ready to receive such a gift, and just as important, letting people know you will accept this type of gift, are likely going to be worth the effort. Now, regarding investing in crypto for your congregation, well, here we'd exercise a note of caution. Crypto has proven to be exceptionally volatile. This is one reason we would suggest that if you receive a gift of cryptocurrency, that you convert it to cash as soon as practicality would allow. We say the same thing for stocks and property, where value is market-driven and subject to fluctuation. You want your donor to know that the value of their gift at the time they made it is the value the church has received to employ for mission and ministry. But crypto is extremely volatile. Despite big-name stars singing its praises and inviting you to add it to your portfolio back around Super Bowl 56, and the fact that you may have read that El Salvador had made it legal tender, had you invested in it in January of 2022, by June of the same year, you would have lost almost 55% of your principal investment. This seems to us to disqualify it from the prudent investment strategy that we're ethically bound to pursue with gifts given in perpetuity for charitable purposes. We feel there are other ethical considerations as well. One, the mining process for cryptocurrency requires massive amounts of electricity that power the computer servers that generate the algorithms necessary to find these bits of code that represent coins. Quite simply, it's bad for the environment. Two, the nature of the currency lends itself too easy to nefarious activity because there's no intermediary. Additional risks include that cryptocurrency is completely decentralized. It is not backed by any recognized agency or government. It is therefore subject to little or no regulation. Its value is established between the sender and the user, and it's been subject to hacking and theft, though some improvements have been made in this area. But you have to remember, there is no physical form for this currency. So the bottom line is, we see usefulness in receiving it, since someone else has taken the risk to acquire it, and it has monetary value that can support mission and ministry. But we view it too risky for your church's investment committee to add to your congregation's portfolio as a way to grow endowed gifts. Prudence should still prevail when we manage other people's gifts that often represent a lifetime of earnings that they have lovingly given to assure your church has a future ministry. The conclusion we draw for now is, be prepared to receive it, even promote that you will, but continue to resist the temptation to invest the church's resources in it. For the Center for Faith and Giving, I'm Bruce Barkauer.